Hi guys, my name is Tony, and I want to talk to you guys today about the American Red Cross. But first, a little bit of a backstory of mine to introduce it. When I was 15, I certified for my lifeguarding certificate, and in that class, I had to do aquatics, CPR, and basic life support. That includes treating scrapes and burns. I did that till I was 17, almost 18. Fast forward 9 years, my son's 3. We're in my living room and I'm playing my computer game. All of a sudden, I hear this noise in the background. Obviously, somebody's choking. I turn around and see it was my 3-year-old son at the time. I completely panicked and I feel like my brain shut off. I was just watching him in the moment. Somewhere in there, it my training, my lifeguard training, just clicked, and I ended up saving my son from what possibly could have been the worst day of my life. And that's all thanks to the American Red Cross. According to the website, the American Red Cross is dedicated to helping people in need throughout the U.S. and in association with other networks throughout the world. They depend on many generous contributions of time, blood, and money from the American public to support their life-saving services and programs. Prior to the First World War, the Red Cross introduced its first aid, water safety, and public health nursing programs. With the outbreak of war, the organization experienced phenomenal growth. The number of local chapters jumped from 107 in the year 1914 to 3,864 in the year 1918, and membership grew from 17,000 to over 20 million adult and 11 million junior adult members. The public contributed 400 million in funds and materials to support the American Red Cross programs, including those for American and Allied forces and civilian refugees. The Red Cross staffed hospitals and ambulance companies and recruited 20,000 registered nurses to serve in the military. Additional Red Cross nurses came forward to combat the worldwide influenza epidemic of the year 1918. After the war, the Red Cross focused on service to veterans and enhanced programs in safety training, accident prevention, home care for the sick, and nutritional education. They also provided relief for victims such as major disasters in Mississippi, the floods of 1927, and the Depression during the 30s. The Second World War called upon the Red Cross to provide extensive services once again to the U.S. military, allies, and civilian war victims. They enrolled more than 104,000 nurses for military service, prepared 27 million packages for American and Allied prisoners of war, and shipped over 300,000 tons of supplies overseas at the military's request. The Red Cross also initiated a national blood program that collected 13.3 million pints of blood for use by the armed services. After World War II, the Red Cross introduced the first nationwide civilian blood program that now supplies more than 40% of the blood and blood product in this country. During the 90s, they engineered a massive modernization of blood services to improve the safety of these blood products. They continue to provide services to members of the armed forces and their families, including during the Korean, Vietnam, and Gulf Wars. Currently, the American Red Cross has delivered life-saving assistance to more than 229 million people around the world this past year alone. This averages to about 8 minutes, every 8 minutes, helping someone out, with 95% of the relief being volunteers. I am doing my speech on the American Red Cross so that you have a better understanding of the benefits of this program and relay what it would mean to donate time, money, blood, or experience to them. The peer-to-peer program even makes it easy to host one of these events, and the American Red Cross is willing to help you organize it. Today, the supporters Volunteers and employees of the Red Cross provide compassionate care in 6 critical areas. The first area is people affected by disasters in America. From small house fires to multi-state national disasters, the American Red Cross goes wherever they're needed so people can have clean water, safe shelter, and hot meals when needed most. They also provide food, mental health, and bulk distribution of needed items to meet basic human needs to those affected. The third category is blood collection, distribution, and processing. Each year, an estimated 6.8 million people in the U.S. donate blood. The American Red Cross measures blood in units. From July 2018 to June 2019, the American Red Cross reported collecting 4.6 million units, according to CharityNavigator.com. The American Red Cross provides about 40% of our nation's blood and blood components, all from generous donors. But supply doesn't always meet demand because only 3% of age-eligible people donate blood yearly. The fourth category is health and safety education. The American Red Cross offers plenty of workplace safety training. These can include CPR and how to treat cuts and burns. Another training they offer is the acronym FAST. This is the first national Stop with Lead course for high school students. It teaches how to keep safe in an emergency and how to help others to safety, such as in violent situations. It also teaches how to care for someone with life-threatening bleeding. The next category is lifeguarding, one close to my heart. The American Red Cross has been the gold standard in life-saving aquatic science instruction and lifeguard certification since 1914. The next category is CPR. This section is where they teach you how to identify if someone is choking, asking if you are allowed to help them, and if accepted, the proper technique to rescue the person in distress. The next category, BLS, which stands for Basic Life Support. Advanced Life Support or Pediatric Advanced Life Support training from the American Red Cross is the knowledge and skills you need to provide advanced care to your community. Designed specifically for healthcare providers and first responders, this course will help people to assess, recognize, and provide high-quality care to adult and pediatric patients experiencing life-threatening medical emergencies, including shock, cardiovascular, cerebrovascular, and respiratory events. The next category is international relief, such as flooding. Floods are the most common type of disaster around the world, affecting more than all the other disasters in 2010. Heavy rains cause the lakes and rivers to overflow, sending rushing water to vulnerable communities. This past fiscal year, the American Red Cross responded to floods in 8 different countries. International relief also includes earthquakes and tsunamis. These cannot be prevented, but their impact can be mitigated through community preparedness, timely warning, and effective response. Around the world, the Red Cross is on constant alert, preparing both communities and first responders. This year, they turned the preparedness into action, responding to earthquakes and tsunamis in 3 countries. I could talk for hours about what this foundation provides. It was hard narrowing down the finer points to a short speech. I feel I have only scratched the surface on how important the Red Cross is and how much they help people and communities in need. With 229 million people helped last year, no contribution is too small. The American Red Cross is supported entirely through donations and proceeds from Red Cross products. Approximately 9/10 of the organization's budget is earmarked for humanitarian efforts. The American Red Cross also depends on practical support from a wide range of individuals and organizations. As you can see, there are a plethora of ways someone can get involved in this amazing organization. The options we discussed make it easy for anyone to give what they can, from a simple monetary contribution to time spent volunteering, and you can rest assured that whatever you plan to contribute, it will be worth it.